What's up, grapplers? This is Marshall from Artechoke Media, and I'm pretty excited today to show you some of the behind-the-scenes gameplay footage of Super Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Dojo Storm. Dojo Storm, if you haven't been following along in our crowdfunding campaign, aims to be the first ever Jiu-Jitsu video game. Fully playable world, 20 hours of gameplay, 50 recruitable fighters that you can incorporate into your team, all with unique abilities and unique ranks that they can achieve. And they all kind of have their unique strengths that play against each other's weaknesses, so how you build your team is super important. So before I show off some of this footage, I want to give a little caveat here. This is an alpha build of the game, so it might be a little rough, might have a few bugs. It's not nearly as polished as the final product's going to be. From our perspective at this stage in our development, this is exactly where we expect to be. I just don't want to give you the wrong idea of expecting this to play and feel like a complete game. We got a little bit of work to do on it yet. A lot in that streamlining process of eliminating bugs and kind of polishing up mechanics and presentation. Largely the functionality is built though. Most of the art is in the world. Most of the world is built out. The major gameplay mechanics are incorporated. So we're doing a lot of work in balancing, troubleshooting, and just kind of making sure the game lives up to the standard that we have in mind. So just a reminder, we're still crowdfunding this. So if you want to go support the crowdfunding campaign, pick up some cool perks, you're welcome to do that. But let's get to the gameplay footage. Pretty pumped to do this. So again, you might see some bugs. So we're booting up Unity here. If you are a gamer, you're probably familiar with the Unity engine. So we got our start screen. Pretty excited about this. Got some of our favorite characters looping by. Some that you might be familiar with at this point. Maybe. So let's get started here. New game. So welcome to Mudsville. This is Tim's hometown. You're in Tim's bedroom here. So Tim, our main character, is aspiring to be a Jiu-Jitsu world champion, but more than that, he wants to be known as a great coach as well. So that's why he has his heart set on winning the Polaris Team Invitational. So here you can see we're just exploring a retro 8-bit world, probably very akin to some of your favorite RPG games when you're growing up as a kid. I know it's definitely in that spirit for me, which is why I'm really excited about this game, because it kind of brings a big part of my childhood to life and then combines it with the way that jiu-jitsu guys end up seeing the world. And when we wrote Don't Wear a Gi to the Bar, that was a big thing that we got back from the community, was that these inside jokes that we were pretty sure were consistent throughout the community really were. So these themes and these ideas and these challenges and these jokes just kind of persist, and we have this jiu-jitsu world that is a layer on top of the quote-unquote real world. So that's what Dojo Storm is really trying to build upon, if that makes sense. The short of it is it's a weird place to live. It's a strange universe where martial arts is the most important thing ever, and that's what everybody talks about. So let's talk some NPCs here. So Joe thinks that jiu-jitsu is just like karate. We've all met this guy. And since Mudville is a pretty rural town, it's south of the big city, you're not going to have necessarily the big city sensibilities, more of the rural sensibilities. Oh, see, like Buford here is worried about his guns. Poor Buford. He's pretty worried about conservative ideology. Wants to make sure he keeps his rights, his freedoms. So you see Mudsville is pretty small little town. But before we venture out here and explore the greater martial arts world that is in Dojo Storm, let's check out our team. Pull up the menu here. So when you actually start the game, you're gonna start out with from scratch. You're not gonna have a team right off the bat. But since this is a test build, I wanted to show off some of these mechanics here. So here's our preloaded team. Again, balance mechanics are not completely done yet. This is something we are still in progress working on. So some of these are a little overpowered or underpowered, just not quite where we want them yet. That's a work in progress. So if you click into any character here, you get to know a little bit more about them. So this Infinite Singlet is a grappler type. You see his stats, his hit points, when he's going to gain the next level, the abilities he's learned thus far, and he has a lot more abilities to learn as he ranks up and earns more levels here. So we check out another fighter, our Chow Black Belt. See, he's a striker type. So each types are strong against some types and weak against other types. So for example, strikers aren't really they can't really handle grapplers all that well, so they have really bad takedown defense. So if a striker comes up against a grappler, he's going to have a pretty bad time. It's a pretty core mechanic, so building a diverse team with a wide range of abilities and types is going to be pretty paramount to your success in Dojo Storm. So, and the characters get pretty weird. Like, we got a gun rights activist here. Buford would probably really dig him. again, all tongue-in-cheek humor, all very satire related, all very none of this is serious. None of this is trying to make any sort of actual commentary about the world or our sport or politics or anything like that. It's just trying to poke fun at the universe that we live in as Jiu-Jitteros. So as we back out of this, I'm just going to go kind of stack my team up here because we've got some fights coming up. As we leave Mudsville, I wanted to make a comment about the artwork here. So all of the artwork in Dojo Storm is 100% original. It's all produced by the lead artist at Center Steel. His name's Anthony. So even though we take a lot of cues from 8-bit retro mobile RPGs or classic 16-bit RPGs, all of the artwork is 100% ours. All of the writing's 100% ours. The code development, everything that's gone into the game is unique and original. So I really want to emphasize that because some people, they had a bit of an issue with just how much we were inspired by these games. So none of this is copied or lifted from anywhere else. This is all us. And if it looks and feels like a certain game, that's us giving a nod to the genre. Even our mechanics are pretty unique. They still feel very much like an RPG, but they're still we've designed them to fit the Dojo Storm world. So let's skip ahead here because we can do that. Not skip too far. So this is the beginning of Route 19, one of the first major routes that you have to take in the game to move to the big city. We see that we're on our way to the Polaris Invitational here. Got a billboard advertising it. And I think this guy's going to want to fight me, so let's see what happens here. Oh, he's just a country boy in a big city world. So I got my Street Fighter out against the gun rights activist. So I'm pretty high level, so I'm hoping my haymaker here gets me through. Yeah, the Wild Punch lands. Gun rights activist is down. Hillbilly Ninja's coming out. He could be dangerous. Oh, got a Judy chop. He's too drunk, didn't quite hit me. So let's throw another haymaker here. Yep, took him down. Nice. All right, so Chow Black Belt, he's a team leader here. Assumed a horse stance through a punch. And it's super embarrassing for my Street Fighter that I got hit by that. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, fighting a Chow Black Belt is not a very manly thing to do. But in the Dojo Storm world, if you want to step up and fight, you're, doesn't matter how old you are, you're taking the challenge. One more, take out the Child Black Belt here. Yeah. So combat's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. If you played any RPG, you'll be familiar with how turn-based combat's going to work. Which fighter you have up front facing your other team's key fighter is really important. So swapping fighters in and out is going to be a big part of your strategy. And it goes back to the idea of having a diverse team. So let's check out some other places. So this is another end of Route 19 here. So we got a gun show in here. These are all characters we can interact with. So this guy's telling us a little bit more about the different types and how they interact. And the NPCs will really educate you about the world. So we'll skip ahead to South Mountain Town. So this is South Mountain Town. This is the first major city that you visit in Super Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Dojo Storm. You can see it has a completely different feel to it from Mudsville, and that's by design. Each of these areas is going to have its own look and feel, have its own aesthetic. We can kind of go out and explore our world. I don't want to get any random fights, so I'm going to stick to the towns here just for our demo. We see we got a Scramble logo up here, another one of our big sponsors. And we got another gym that we can compete at here in Dojo Storm to progress our plot. You notice we got some pretty awesome music. The music's original as well. That's from Mechanical Advantage Digital Records, the owner of which is a Purple Belt. Let's skip ahead here to Fort Pitt Tunnel. The owner of Mechanical Advantage Digital Records is a Purple Belt. He's actually a dummy in one of our instructionals, in the Jeff Rockwell sit-up escape. So he's really passionate about jiu-jitsu and made this music from scratch for us. And again, it's inspired by that 8-bit feeling, that 16-bit gaming aesthetic, but uses some modern nuances to really bring the game to life. And that's a quick little look at Super Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Dojo Storm. It's again, it's all playable, still a little rough because we're working on streamlining and refining the product, but in large part, this is the experience you're going to expect to get when you support our crowdfunding campaign, and then when you pick up the game for iOS, Android, or PC. And we're really excited about what this means for Artechoke and what this means for the sport in general, because We feel there's a ton of potential here, and we can't wait to share it with you. So head to our crowdfunding campaign. Your support means a lot to us, whether you're sharing it or contributing by buying one of the perks. You could be a character. You could have your whole gym in the game. Your business could sponsor the game. Anything you contribute, it matters. So thank you for doing that. And if you have any other questions about the game, please shoot us a message, leave us a comment on our Indiegogo page, or reach out to us on Facebook. We're super excited about this, and we can't wait. Have a good one, guys.